Hello, 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 hello. Wow, what a beautiful day we're having in our part of the world, which is wonderful. I know some of you are earlier in the day than we are, but we are here at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, also known as 15 of the o'clock. My name's Kate Rodgers, and I am from Stepping Stone Theatre for Mental Health. And we are here for the next hour to talk all things mental health and maybe just all things. We hope to be fascinating, articulate, intelligent, organized, inspiring, enlightening, all sorts of things that start with E. And I'd like to introduce to you now my co-host, my partner in life and song, my husband, my one, my only, the co-director of Artists. Bill. Come on, Bill. Help me out here. Just make an entrance.
I'm here now.
Entrance.
All things begin with E. Like E, Bill's here. E. Well done, crew. Good afternoon and good morning. We've got some Canada. We've got loads of our local crew, which is great. And yes, you did. Somebody's just said, oh, Gemma, hopefully I got the gin. Gemma, you not only got the gin, but you got a special bonus prize of a decent bottle of whiskey as well.
Oh.
You were chomping at the bit. And then we got Deborah, who got a really nice bottle of sherry, not the cooking sherry. Ali, yes, you did get the Avocar, and Peter, you got one of those tiny little Canadian bottles of beer that's stuck at the back of the fridge that nobody really wants, but it may come in useful, and it did. So you do get Sharon. I'm sorry, there's nothing left for you.
Oh,
yeah. So unless you would like a drink of water. But welcome, everyone, to a lovely day.
Yeah, beautiful.
Beautiful sunny day. And lots happening out there. There's lots of activity today.
Go on.
I don't just cars and it's Sunday.
Yeah.
You'd expect it to be quiet, but it just seems like lots of activity. Good afternoon, Kate, and welcome. Lots of birds singing and cars going past and people like tractor sounds, you know what I mean? There's motorbike sounds and people just getting ready for tomorrow, I think, because isn't tomorrow the official day that we're all allowed to go back to normal?
We're allowed to go out. We're allowed to do these bubble things, and one household can see another household, and quite a few industries are opening up again tomorrow. And
I think people are just gearing up for that.
I think more kids go back to school tomorrow. You know what? I've stopped paying attention. I'm not.
Well,
not
my news basically is early morning news, and then that's basically what happened the night before.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the day, because I'm up in my little workspace 7 days a week.
That's my boy.
Working on various other bits and pieces. I get my news from the internet.
Okay.
So I've made coffee, Bill. I'm all good. Well done. Look at me. I'm the same. Nice cup of tea. Black tea, no sugar.
I have to admit, I do get a lot of my news off Facebook.
Off Facebook? Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a very reliable source.
Articles that people post, and if they attract me, I read them. So, yeah. But no, I've not been doing that. The 5 o'clock broadcast that they do on BBC with the guys who tell you what's up and what's going on. So, yeah, I'm not as informed as I could be, honey.
But my thing, it's not about news. It's just there was lots of activity out. I got up, my normal time, 7:30, whatever, sat under my tree, got my cup of tea. And there's been lots of activity, lots of cars and.
You're right. It probably is because lockdown is loosening.
Very, very, but a lovely day as well.
Yes.
A lovely day for going for a walk, going for a drive, or whatever. Because we're allowed to drive to go for a walk now. Apparently, yeah, we can drive to exercise.
I love you.
And drive to go for a walk.
You're funny.
So there we go. Welcome, Becky. Welcome. Crazy Crew. Welcome, my friend Becky, to the group. Welcome, Becky. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the crew. Deborah's still feeling low. Oh, never mind, Deborah. Don't you worry. We'll soon pick you up because I've got stashed under here a nice bottle of vodka for you. Only one of them little bottles, but it'll do the trick.
It
will do the trick. Haley says we watch the 5 p.m. news nearly every day.
Oh.
Yeah. Some people love it. Some people love the news.
Yeah. I did it first. I was glued.
You were?
I needed to know.
Yeah.
But
but the 5 a.m. news is a lot better because it's yesterday's news, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a bit like when I used to buy fish and chips in the olden days. You always got a copy of yesterday's newspaper to read at the same time, which was also brilliant. It's the only reason I did it.
Oh, of course.
I wasn't really wanting the chips. No. I just wanted yesterday's newspaper.
Yeah.
You should save me 10 pence not buying one.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. So how are you, kid?
I'm very well.
Yeah?
I'm very well, yes. I've been doing the things that are good for me, and that makes me happy. So in my little self-obsessed world that I live in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what are those things that are making you...
Well, I did my walk again yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
My goal of exercising every day, I am accomplishing. Yesterday, I did my yoga, and I did that after I'd had a bath. So normally I would have a bath and then retire.
Mm-hmm.
But I did my yoga. I literally did yoga in my house coat. So that was a bit funny. But yeah, so with the resolve to exercise every day, I am accomplishing. So this makes me very... When you ask how am I, I'm great, thank you.
Well, I noticed this morning, and yesterday, you're a bit tired in the mornings now, whereas you didn't used to be.
I'm dragging my butt.
Yeah.
I'm dragging my butt.
You and your psychiatrist decided that you would jiggle your medication.
That's
you would
right.
take a lower dose in the day and a higher dose at night, or a higher dose in the day.
The other way around.
Other way around.
Yeah.
And the higher dose, I think, is making you lethargic in the mornings.
Already. I know. It's only been 2 or 3 days, but I can notice a difference. But at the same time, I've stopped drinking caffeinated coffee because, the signals, the symptoms, I keep reading that caffeine is not good for anxiety. And it makes sense. It makes perfect sense, right? But I'm now drinking decaf coffee in the morning, and I think that has a bit to do with the lethargy as well. So crew, when I say my self-obsessed world, it's true. You want to be in recovery, you got to work on yourself.
Yeah.
And it can become obsessive, and it can become Bill, my carer, is looking for every possible clue, and we're reading, oh, she yawned, change the medication. So you're constantly twigging, you're constantly, is twigging the right word?
No, you just made that up.
I made that up.
Tweaking.
Tweaking.
Twigging is something that you do when you go for a walk in the woods. But
anyhow, I'm twigging and tweeting and
no, you're tweeting.
I'm tweaking.
Tweaking. Yeah,
okay.
Thank you.
But you get what I mean, right? This is why we talk about it, right? This is the stuff that I'm going through that can inspire you, or that you can go, that girl's just neurotic.
Well, Gemma says I drink decaf and it helps. I can't tell the flaming difference, me.
Yeah, I can. I definitely get a hit from caffeinated coffee.
I know, but have you seen how you make it?
Well, I know, I do.
You know what I mean? You'd be brilliant. You want working with the bricklayers, making the cement.
Yeah, I'm a very strong woman.
You know, I
like my coffee strong and my men weak.
I don't know what you mean. I really don't know what you mean, Kate.
But yes, Gemma, I'm with you.
I can't tell the difference sometimes.
Yeah,
though.
I know.
I really can't. What about joy? A bit of joy listing. Let's kick off with that.
I've thought about it. So I'm ready. I'm searching for joy. Right?
Yeah.
I'm doing an exercise with my magic book about that you hold a stone in your hand last thing in the day, and you give thanks for the best thing that's happened. And it's wonderful because I go,
hold on.
That was good.
Hold on. You hold a stone.
Yes. I have a best stone.
Is it a special stone?
It's a special stone.
You've not told me about this one yet.
I know. Well,
what's this stone look like?
It's white.
Yeah.
It's smooth. We got it in Bridlington when we went there for our 25th wedding anniversary, and it's beautiful, and it fits in the palm of my hand, and I hold it, and I think about, and I close my eyes, and I think, what was the best thing that happened today? And the brilliant thing about this exercise is 5 or 6, 7, 8 things come forward in your mind. Oh, the best thing was that cup of coffee. Oh, the best thing was Bill and I doing that podcast. The best thing was when Ali came to visit. The best thing was, so it's really good for you to...
So hold on. You've got the stone.
Yeah.
And it triggers what? It triggers
you thinking and framing your life in what's the best thing. And because so many good things come up, I realize, man, I've got a good life. I got
what's the stone got to do? Why don't you just sit there and think of good things?
Well, I have no idea, Bill.
What's the stone got to do with it?
Listen, man, it's not me to argue with a best-selling author.
I know, but you call the book secrets, but I know where it is. I know where the book. I can go look. It's there.
I know. Well, this one's called The Magic.
Oh, The Magic. It's the other one.
No,
isn't it?
and I read a wonderful chapter. I do one chapter a night, and last night's chapter was about giving thanks for food, and it talked about how we used to say grace all the time. Yeah, we used to thank the Lord.
Yeah.
If you were a Christian, right? Different religions would have different ways, but the sanctity and the thankfulness of food, and that in today's takeout fast food eat in the living room rather than around the dinner table, right? We have come out of the habit of giving thanks for food.
Right.
And so she's suggesting that, what you have to do is take a moment, take a pause. It's all secular, it's not religious what she suggests, and give thanks for food. And if you do, you will get the magic.
Right. Gemma says, I have an amethyst I hold in my hand.
There you go.
But that's a different kettle
go.
of fish, all that crystal jobby, isn't it?
Well, crystals have a different power than a stone.
Than a stone that you find on the beach in Bridlington.
And amethyst, I've heard that you put them out in moonlight, and that's how you power them up. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Wow. There's something to be said about having mental health challenges, isn't there?
I know.
You get really clever or really,
Weird.
really stupid. But well done you. Well done you. So you've got your flat stone from Bridlington.
So that's not my joy. I haven't got to my joy
Oh,
yet.
sorry. Go on then.
That's okay.
Yeah.
My joy was last night, after my bath, after my yoga, I lay on my acupressure pad.
Oh, that bed of males thing.
Which I have told you guys about. It's got the sticky, pointy plastic things.
Plastic nails. It hurts.
And it feels great. Really relaxing. And I do it and I listen to music. And I did, at the recommendation of our Gemma, I listened to UB40. Fantastic. So I didn't dance, even though my body was in the rhythm. But I listened to UB40. Red, Red Wine, Three Little Birds, some other Bob Marley covers. They're magic. And I really, really enjoyed it.
I like
That was my joy.
I like the fact that UB40 are named after something that I used to take with me to the job centre. It is. It used to be a book.
I know.
UB40.
I know.
But I like UB40. I think they're great.
Yeah, fabulous.
They are really.
So
you've
thank
moved forward.
you-
You've moved
thank you,
forward
Gemma.
for no reason at all. Now you've got sun all over
Have
your
I got
face.
sun? Oh, sorry. I
stay
thought it was okay.
Stay where you are.
Am I there?
That's beautiful.
Thank you, darling.
That is beautiful.
Okay.
Joy, I rescued a hedgehog and was a little forecaster last night. She slept on a hot water bottle. Oh, foster carer, not a forecaster. Hot water bottle in a box. After being checked this morning, she scurried off down the garden.
Oh, wonderful.
There you go.
Wonderful.
I used to get told off all the time by my parents for bringing hedgehogs home.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'd just think, oh, look at that hedgehog there, just lost.
Curled up.
Yeah, lost. And I would pick them up with handkerchiefs because my dad, they're covered in bloody fleas, them. But yeah, I was a bit of a hedgehog rescuer. Plant of flowers. Bill.
I'm sorry, that's a new program.
The hedgehog
I'm
rescuer.
going to make you a shirt for that.
Yeah, the hedgehog.
And a cape. And a cape.
And a cape.
One for you, one for Kate.
Veggies, planted veggies, rewarded myself with a film and a glass of red. There you go. That
Lovely,
Kate, she never knows when to
lovely.
stop drinking.
Yep.
My joy was having Becky over for a coffee and we walked the dogs over the common. It was good, it rained and felt great. I love walking in the rain. Really good for my mental health, that. I love it. I love it.
Good.
So you laid down on your bed of nails, listen to UB40.
That was my joy.
Deep joy.
Yeah.
Deep joy. Fantastic.
Self-care, joy.
Bit of self-care, bit of meditation,
Yeah.
bit of UB40.
Well, and I'm really trying to take on board what the crazy crew is saying. We've set up this community, right?
Yep.
And it's a give and take. It's a give and take. So you and I give and they take. No.
No, I give and you all
take.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
No,
so
we
Gemma
don't.
mentioned UB40 the other day, and I clocked it, right? And Dave Curley the other day in the writing workshop mentioned a television program he's been watching called Space Force. I wrote it down. I made a point. Funny as heck. So yeah,
Brilliant. I mean, this is completely why we set this up. because
absolutely. For me,
Just for you, Kate. No, it's for all of us. For all of us.
absolutely.
For all. You just think it's for you.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's good though. It's really good.
It is. It's great.
Really good.
It's great.
All right, Bill Rodgers, you're sitting there with
I am.
bated breath. What is your joy?
My joy today, and I'm going to show everyone this. I don't know if people remember these. It's a pencil. It is a pencil.
Oh yes,
And I have a lot of pencils.
you do.
I do. I go to places like, Wilkinson's and stuff like that, and I buy packs of pencils when they're on sale, and I've got about 3 dozen up there. And for the first time in a long, long time, I did all my notes for today's show. I wrote them all in pencil. And it felt fabulous because I could move it up and down my hand and do like that, and if I made a mistake, I just went squiggly, squiggly. Whereas with a pen, if you make a mistake and go squiggly, no, it rips the paper. You know, and
Big mistake.
Yeah, you can do hard drawing and hard writing and soft writing and soft writing. Yeah, that's my joy. I used a pencil.
Wonderful.
And I felt a bit like Roald Dahl.
Oh, yes.
Because Roald Dahl used to write in pencil, in longhand, in his shed. Yeah. And I felt a bit like he used to do his little writing, then he'd do a little funny sketch and something to remember what he'd just been thinking. Yeah. So that's my joy.
You know who else wrote longhand? I don't know if he used a pencil, but is George Lucas. All of the original Star Wars stuff was written longhand on a foolscap yellow paper.
Yep, that's what I do.
I know. So you find
from today. From today pencils.
Yeah, different instruments. Elicit different styles of writing.
Brilliant! It was absolutely brilliant.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Our new pal Becky says that Gregorian chanting is really good for meditation.
Oh. Another recommendation. I'm on it, Becky. I'm on it.
I thought you were just about to do one then. I thought a bit of Gregorian chanting. I had a friend of mine who used to be a Gregorian singer, Richard.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, and he played us some of his stuff that he's done with his pals.
Yeah.
Out in an outside kind of building. The acoustics are fabulous.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
It is.
You know, and then they all started with the voices.
Yeah.
And there's
I'm
only
on
like
it.
10 or 12
I'm
of them.
making note.
But they filled the whole room with noise.
Gregorian
chanting. Beautiful. So fantastic. Lots of joy there. Sharon says, my eldest son came home. I had my two sons together at last. Felt like the best day of my life. And I can still feel the joy now. That's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for one of ours to come back, hopefully after tomorrow. Once lockdown has been lifted, where we can go and visit our grandparents. There's been some beautiful stuff on TV with kids going to see their grandmother for the first time in 3 months and stuff like that.
I know, beautiful.
And the grandmother, one grandmother said, you will come and see me again, won't you? Oh, yes, Granny. Did you see it yesterday? Oh, yes, of course we will, Granny. Ailey says, I write notes down and then look them up later. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Yep.
I love it. So on that note, move a little bit further back, sister, so I can... Oh, that's better.
Am I still in the sun?
Yeah, but you went a little bit too far back then.
How am I now?
You're always beautiful, but
Thank you, darling.
I'd stay right there. That's good.
Okay.
That's good. I want to move on then. So today's topic, hot topic for me, bolstered by what we were talking about the other day about peer support.
We were.
And about supporting ourselves and our friends and looking after each other. It was just for the day, Bill, but it felt amazing. That's fantastic, Sharon. If it makes you feel good for a minute, it doesn't matter how long it lasts.
We love our children.
As long as you get some joy in your life. So we talked about peer support and how peers helping each other and supporting each other. And hopefully this is what we're doing here with the Crazy Crew. A little bit of peer support online here. I want to talk about this new phenomenon that's going around, and it was prompted by one of the crew the other day. Social prescribing. It is a real kind of thing that's going round at the moment. Social prescribing.
New and big.
Very new. 5, 6, 7 years, that's all. Very new and very, very big, as you're saying. So I wanted to know what it was. I mean, I've heard about it. It's been bandied around. And there are people who do it for a job. They are linked social prescribers. And they work for organisations that have these in place. It was a big government directive last year. One of those MPs that comes on a 5 o'clock talking about health, he started this whole thing 2019, social prescribing. There's the National Academy for Social Prescribing that's been set up as well. So I wanted to know what it was. I've heard about it.
Yep.
So basically, it's a system of healthcare where healthcare professionals are able to refer patients to a non-clinical service to meet their well-being needs.
Brilliant.
So basically, it's for people... I love the word recidivist.
Oh, darling.
For people that go to doctors on a regular basis and they're not really sure if there's anything wrong with them, but they like going to the doctors because it gets them out for the day. Things like, I read that people like going because they feel safe, they feel warm, they're going to go and see an expert. But for a lot of them, they don't really know what's wrong with them. And what is wrong with them is loneliness and social isolation. Now, we're going to get a lot of this a lot of this is going to come right to the forefront when lockdown or whatever occurs, that we're going to get people that will be going on a regular basis to see their GP or go to A&E purely because they're a bit out of sorts. They're a bit, under the weather, but they're not ill. They're not ill.
Right.
It goes on. What people can take part in depends on what's on offer and how the local services work together in the areas that you live. But a GP or a nurse can refer you to a link worker. Now, I haven't told you what it is yet. This is the thing about social prescribing. It's a wonderful thing, in my opinion. So you can get referred to by a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
You can get referred to by a doctor,
Mm-hmm.
a GP. You can get referred to a link worker who can help you with social prescribing. Now, the link worker is someone who meets with you,
Mm-hmm.
finds out what your needs are and what you like to do. And they will put you in touch with local organisations and groups that can help and provide a service that you may need.
Absolutely. I get it.
Have you got any idea what it is?
I do. Social prescribing, the professionals, the GPs and the nurses, hook you up with a link worker, and the link worker hooks you up with groups that meet your needs. So Stepping Stone Theatre would be am I going right past the sun?
You're going right past the sun.
Okay.
There you go.
Stepping Stone Theatre would be who the link worker prescribes a person to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Stepping Stone Theatre, if you're lonely, if you're isolated, if you've been on your own a long time, but you have a creative, you like to be a bit creative, whether that be sewing or painting or poetry or acting or singing, then a link worker would bring you to Stepping Stone Theatre and say, this is so and so, this is Bill and Kate. They will show you the ropes. They were very gentle, and we would then introduce them very carefully into our program, into what we do. Now, that could be the Stepping Stone Strollers, the walking group that we have. That could be the Tuesday drop-in, where there's no pressure to perform on the main stage, but we do theatre games, theatre exercises. We have a laugh, we have a giggle, we tell each other stories. It's in a very safe, non-clinical. This is the thing, non-clinical, non-judgmental environment.
That's right.
Where they're everybody, and we do have people in our crew, on our live crew here, who come to our group on a Tuesday. Perhaps they could share an anecdote or two with the people that have never been, of what they get out of it. Do they enjoy it? Why do they come to the group anyway? So it's basically somewhere where you can go and you can enjoy doing something that you like, but you're not ill.
That's right.
It's just something to fill your day, and it's now been recognised on a huge scale. Like I said, the whole academy, the Social Prescribing Academy, is out there on a huge scale. How wonderful it is to help people with their mental health and their physical health.
Absolutely.
Because one of the things it says here, if you've got a weight problem and you go to your GP and go, I'm really not happy with my weight, right? I've tried and tried. This diet, that diet, this diet, the Atkins, the Cambridge, the Slimming World, Weight Watchers, the big four that are out there. I've tried them all. I've tried pills. I've tried eating fruit. I've tried the grapefruit diet. I've even tried a diet that my neighbour told me about, and nothing is happening, right? What I want is to lose weight. There's a fair chance that the GP will prescribe you swimming lessons.
Okay.
Or going to the gym. And they can do this. There's certain programs that allow the GP to do that. And you can go and check out the pool and you can go and check out the gym. And they will have a link worker connected to that organisation. And they will take you, handhold you, take you to the gym, and basically get you on a healthier lifestyle. A healthier, not necessarily a diet, but exercise and diet. They do combinations thereof. And that is what social prescribing is all about. Now, have you ever been socially prescribed, Kate, during your journeys of not.
To be perfectly honest, no.
Mm.
No, I've never been hooked up with a social prescriber link worker, and I think it's because by the time social prescribing came around, I was already fairly sorted with my own self-help stuff. And so, as I say, the main thing that I use the professionals for is advice on my medication and that. So Dr. Elwood, who is my psychiatrist, has never prescribed me any other healthcare interventions.
Well, interesting enough, you are part of the social prescribing crew now, right?
I get social prescribed too.
Two, yeah. And we've had some amazing people come and some wonderful results, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They say when they come to Stepping Stone, we found our tribe.
They do.
They say when they come to Stepping Stone, we feel much better. They say that Tuesday, Friday and Saturday rehearsals or whatever are their go-to place. They look forward to it. So, in my opinion, it does work. It does work.
Absolutely.
And we as Stepping Stone have had some great results of people that not getting better, because you can't, if you've got a mental health problem, it's always there. But maintenance, management, and peer support, having a new bunch of friends that you can turn to, etc., etc. It says here that social prescribing is getting a lot of attention in the world of social and health care. People are recognising it now, and as a form of treatment.
Absolutely.
If you are feeling insecure, if you're feeling low, if you're feeling socially out of it, because of things like lockdown, etc., isolation, and there are things out there that you can do that aren't medically driven. Like Sharon said, it's a place you can go that's a safe space that builds your confidence, makes friends, everyone's respectful, you laugh a lot, you may even cry. However, you're surrounded by your tribe, she just said so there, your new family. And personally, it's been the best thing I've been part of for my mental health. And that's Sharon, who does come to our Tuesday drop-in group.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you very much. And Griff's just put an emoji of somebody who's jumping. So I'm presuming that means it's
less
good.
words.
It's good.
Yeah.
Recent studies have shown, though, that 20% of people who go to their GP are reporting problems that are social rather than medical.
Absolutely.
Would you agree with that?
Well, in my anecdotal evidence, I don't have the evidence, but if they're saying it's as high as 20%, that does not surprise me, because so many people they go to the GP when really the GP's not who they need to be seeing.
Yeah.
They need to be seeing a like-minded group of art group or gardening group or
I'll talk about them in a bit.
Us, the theater group, or but they need to be referred. And so the channels of how to refer to those wonderful social groups have to be clear and clean. And
Absolutely.
That's what social prescribing is all about.
What they said about social prescribing, it's now becoming the glue.
Oh.
Not my quote. This is a quote from one of the experts, that we talk about. They say they do. The glue between health, social, and community services.
Yeah.
That social prescribing.
And you know what? It's so clever. It just makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And to the best of my knowledge, it's been around in North America a little bit longer than, it's only 6
It's
7,
been around
8
the
years.
world longer than it has here.
Yeah, we're late. We're late, are we?
New Zealand, Canada, certain parts of the States. The Polynesian islands, they do it. They've used it quite a lot. The gentle people on the planet, They are so music and dance driven in that culture that it does really, their mental health is brilliant because they dance and sing and play as a community, as a family, and they've got traditions of that as well. I got onto the British Red Cross. I thought, well, I will find a different avenue to find out, to tell me something more about this prescribing. And the British Red Cross, they are calling it now, 2019-2020, a social prescribing revolution.
Oh, I love a revolution.
Yeah, a revolution. And it's only kind of been rocking and rolling for the last 5 years.
It is new.
And the government and the NHS are now promoting non-clinical approaches to enduring health issues. and they are apparently chucking millions of pounds at it to help promote social anxiety activities. Well, let's hope they chuck some of it our way then.
I'm glad you finished that. I thought you were going to say promote social anxiety.
Yeah, so to promote social activities.
Yeah, I got it.
Such as what you just cited, art groups, gardening groups, drama groups like ours. We run 3 groups a week plus 3 online writing groups, and we run quite a lot of social prescribing. And I'm sure it's going to continue after lockdown because it's going to be needed more than ever.
Absolutely.
More than ever. There's going to be a lot of people out there that will have isolation and loneliness.
Isolation and
well, they're calling it They're calling it loneliness fatigue.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that you are so tired of being on your own.
Yeah.
When is this going to end?
Yeah.
Loneliness fatigue.
Yeah.
There's also been mass recruitment, actually, said the Red Cross, of social prescribers to come and support GPs.
Yeah.
So a bit like a teaching assistant.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, that's a good parallel.
You've got a teaching assistant in schools who helps, with certain kids who've got certain needs, so the teacher can get on with teaching. Well, they are doing it, bringing social prescribers, link workers, into GPs to deal with people who've got certain issues, so GPs can get on to be GPs. Which is fantastic. In the long run, the research shows that short schemes, like these, let's go for 6 weeks worth of training or 12 weeks worth of training, the short schemes in the long run don't work.
Oh, okay.
Well, they do in some cases, but they're over far too quickly.
Yes, yes.
Just when you think you're getting better or feeling better or building up a nice social circle, they just stop. You've done your 12 weeks, you've done your 6 weeks. And this is where social prescribing and groups like ours fit within the criteria, because ours is going to run forever, hopefully. Stepping Stone will run as long as it runs, as long as we keep getting funding.
That's right.
And keep getting members coming through and other members supporting other members. Social prescribing art groups are going to run forever. Gardening group can't end in 12 weeks. You just put your seeds in, water them, and then you wait, and then just before they grow, you go, right, that's it, the group's over. These groups run and run and run. And what it is, it builds up trust, because the trust comes out of the relationship that you have with your peer link worker and your social prescribing link worker, and also the groups that are in there, the people that are in the group, them as well. It builds up a trust.
It takes a long time to build trust.
Like we've just seen on here, I prescribe myself, but I hope it's not used as an excuse to avoid proper therapy. It's not used to avoid proper therapy, not what the experts are saying.
It should be augmenting proper therapy.
It is augmenting proper therapy.
Yeah.
And it allows people to learn the tricks, if you like, of what they're going through. If they meet other people of a like mind, they find out what the jargon is. They find out what what other people are thinking about what their journey of mental health is.
And to be well, you need to be coming at it from many, many, many angles.
Absolutely.
So of course the professional doctor angle, medical angle, psychiatric angle and that, but also then the social angle, and that's what you've just talking about. I think the most remarkable thing that you've said is that 20% of people or problems that are presented to your doctor are social rather than medical.
Yeah.
And so there needs to be something in place, and this is what you're talking about, that links, that refers the GP to the community. Yeah. And the GP, as you say, they can get on with doctoring. I mean, part of what their doctoring is to refer, but the GP needs a place where they can send these people who have social concerns or have mental health concerns that really would be impacted positively by social. So I think not peer link, here we go. Social prescribing. Social prescribing has arisen out of a need that's there. And if it works hand in hand with the medical help, then we're going to be victorious. Then we will win.
I agree. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Also, this thing, it's a thing about help and support of each other.
Yes.
I love that. So what it says basically, it tries to solve some of the health inequalities which are often required for continued investment and attention.
Okay.
You know what I mean? For social prescribing. It really truly works on the community side. You know, on the community side. Because I've been to the doctors on a regular basis, blood pressure or, you know, and there's a thing about the white coat syndrome. And a lot of older people, they're fearful of troubling the doctor. I don't want to disturb the doctor. But if they've got their cake and bake day, or their Stepping Stone drama day, or we have somebody who comes to Stepping Stone who bakes us a cake.
I know.
She don't come to the drama group. She comes every Tuesday and brings a cake.
Yep.
And that's what she does. She bakes it the night before or the morning of
Yep.
and brings Stepping Stone a cake.
Yep.
And that's her connection to Stepping Stone, socially prescribed. She brings us a cake. It's just fantastic.
Yeah.
On the black and white side of it, they reckon for every pound spent on social prescribing,
right.
it saves the services £2.08.
Yeah. So it's a good investment.
Over double.
It's a good investment.
Yeah. Over 100%. £2.08. And like I said, the National Academy for Social Prescribing kicked off October 2019.
It's only new.
Very new.
Only new. That's not even a year.
No, very, very new.
Wow.
I mean, and a little of it's been done because of COVID.
Yeah.
You know, but it kicked off 2019. And there's going to be millions of pounds going to be given out for this kind of social prescribing. I've asked for help from Connections as I'm rock bottom and got nowhere. I don't know what Connections is, Becky. You'd have to be more kind of specific on what it is. Hayley says, I went to an 8-week and when it finished, I thought, well, what now? Exactly, Hayley. That's what I'm on about. These short courses,
Yeah.
they do work for the time, but the groups like ours, we've had many people come that have been brought from other agencies because they've been socially prescribed to our Tuesday group or to Stepping Stone Theatre itself.
Ongoing.
We are providing we can get the funding to keep going for the rehearsal space and for the spaces, etc. We will keep going as long as we can. The National Academy is 2019 October. They want to connect communities with sports, environmental, nature, well-being, healthy living, connect to the local communities, etc., etc. They also say social prescribing schemes can involve a variety of activities, not necessary for the elderly and the vulnerable. There are people out there who are younger, who've been cooped up for 5, 6, 7 weeks, who couldn't get out. They're going to need help as well. This is this lockdown fatigue. So it's not just for older people who are lonely and isolated, but majority of it is, I must admit. Examples include volunteering, arts activities, group learning, gardening, befriending, cookery, art classes, knit and knat groups, singing groups, musical groups, choirs, walking groups, and even online community groups, which have to be called the Crazy Crew. It's obligatory. So online crazy groups like us, Crazy Crew, we are part of what they're talking about, an online community group where we can talk and chat and you know and get together socially, even if it's just for an hour online, which I think is brilliant.
Well, one of the things Becky, who's new to us, she said that the Connections is a mental health helpline, and it sounds like she's asked for help, but she's got nowhere. So what would you suggest, Bill, with what
would
you
I suggest with Becky? I don't know enough about what Connections is.
Well, it's a mental health helpline.
I would suggest that don't give up.
Okay.
I would suggest this is not advice from a professional by any means.
I know, but you and
I have no right to advise anyone because I only know what I know about. But in my opinion, as a carer, from this side of the medication cart, I would not give up. I would find a different avenue. I would find a different organisation.
Of which there are many.
There are tons of them.
Get on Dr. Google, type in mental health. There's Mind, there's Rethink, there's Bipolar
I would always start with
UK.
Mind.
Mind is brilliant.
Always start with Mind, the mental health charity. Always. Because their database and their access to information is huge. It is a library of a phenomenal amount of information. So I would go down that route.
Absolutely. And then if you've got friends in your community, it's worth asking them, where have you found help? What do you know about? This is exactly what social prescribing is about, is hooking up and linking people to their own community. So from this show that you and I are doing right now,
Yes.
what we might suggest to Becky is go to the GP and get the GP to prescribe you a link worker for social prescribing.
Absolutely.
And they will hook you up
Absolutely.
to the local organizations. Like, there's not a stepping stone in the next door neighborhood. There's only a stepping stone in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
So we're only able to help people. Now online, we're able to help people all over the world. We've had people from Cyprus and Canada and the UK and Portugal and, you know, et cetera, right? But as far as coming to our downtown drop-in group, you've got to live in our community. So it would be really worth Becky finding out what's available in her community. And it takes work, babe. It takes work to find somebody who will help, who can help, who does help, you know, because there's lots of help out there, but sometimes it just doesn't fit.
Or she can find out what time the next bus is and come and see us.
Yeah, we'll help you. But you know what I mean? So
I don't know where Becky's based.
I know, but if we're looking at the program that you and I are doing today, the show that we are doing today,
Yeah.
we're talking about social prescribing.
Yes.
And the root of social prescribing is that you go to the GP.
Right.
And they literally prescribe you a social prescriber. And the social prescriber is informed with local groups and what they would do.
They've got all the information at fingertips.
That's right.
That's why I think
so that's what from today's program, that's what the recommendation would
that's
be.
why I think they're brilliant. They've got
They are
everything at their
brilliant.
fingertips.
They are brilliant. We know many people that have been helped by social prescribing, and we know many people who are now avid core members of Stepping Stone Theatre because they have come through to us from social prescribing.
Well, it'd be no good because Gemma, she's in Bournemouth,
Yeah.
sadly, which is a long, long way away.
Yeah.
Hi, Michelle. Didn't see you sneak on there. Michelle is one of our diamonds in, as we used to say, Sheffield, diamonds in brown paper.
I don't know how Michelle heard out about us. She's pre-social prescribing as well.
Yeah,
She
a
must have
long
just
time ago.
heard from
Long
somebody
time ago.
Old.
One of the things that they say, though, sadly, like Stepping Stone and art groups and gardening groups, etc., without funding, some of these groups don't last.
That's right.
And they go by the wayside. And a lot of them, they fear now, because of funding and loss of funding,
That's right.
that many groups that were set up by people like me and you,
Yeah.
they're not government funded.
Yeah.
It's philanthropic people who want to set up a community project to help people in the community, who apply for some funding, get the project up and running, right? And those projects didn't exist without those people having that idea in the first place. The lottery funds new projects now called Bright Ideas in your community, and as long as it's for the community. Nigel Webster sent me to UK.
Oh, that's right.
And Nigel was a great,
The late, great Nigel
he was
Webster.
on our board, and he was fantastic, and we lost him a couple of years ago.
Thank you, Michelle.
But he was a brilliant guy, and he taught me a hell of a lot
He
about building community projects for the community.
Yeah.
You know, about not being
Absolutely.
selfish.
And about always keeping your goal in sight.
Keep your goal in sight and,
and
be
not letting the day-to-day
Maya. Maya.
Oh, good. Meyer. Yeah.
Bother
Bog you down.
Yeah, bog you
Bog you down.
And he was a great advocate of that, and he's a great advocate of integrity,
Yeah.
loyalty, and trust.
That's right.
And that's what these groups have got.
That's
Because
right.
we set up Stepping Stone because of your vision of mental health needs a voice in this area,
Absolutely.
and my capability of someone who
Absolutely.
can make things happen.
Yeah.
And we set it up, and here we still are. And hopefully it's been successful for many people over the last few years.
Hopefully.
But some of these groups now, because of what's happening, we may lose them because of COVID and what's happened during the lockdown. And they also say that anything that's got a longer shelf life than 6 to 12 weeks may not get the funding.
That's right.
It's shorter projects that are getting it's a short-term fix. It's a short-term fix. I've got a wonderful list here of stuff that I'd like to cover, if that's all right with you.
Absolutely, my darling.
We've got a topic that you wanted to cover, but we might not
do.
get there. We might
Okay,
have to,
that's fine.
might have to save that one tomorrow, because I think this is a really important thing that we're talking about here. That physician heal thyself kind of thing. But it's offering support to people who are not ill, but they feel as though they need support.
Sure.
And
sure.
that is it goes beyond volunteering. It's not about volunteering. It's about buying. It's not about budget. It's about buying. It's about being there when people need help and support. So this is what some of the examples of the groups are. And this is a review that was done very early on in 2015 when it was in its infancy, when they were talking about shall we social prescribe or not, is it a good idea? I haven't gone into the ins and outs of where it's come from or why it came or who invented it and all that kind of stuff. I think who invented it were our grandmothers. You know what I mean? Our grandma, hey, come round tomorrow, Ada. We'll have a cup of tea.
We'll have a cup of tea.
I'll make some cake because I can see that you've not been feeling so well since you've lost your Gary.
And we've lost so much community.
You know, it's community spirit, and that really hurts sometimes. Prevention is better than the cure. You are very true, Becky. You are very, very true. That's why I always take 2 paracetamol before I go out for a drink, just in case I get a hangover and the headache is covered. Yeah, it saves me taking them in the morning. Prevention.
Oh, you are naughty.
I am naughty.
Go on then, tell us about your list.
Community education groups.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Basically, to learn you a new skill. That's what I'm saying. It's not just for older people. If there's someone younger who didn't achieve as much as they hoped at school, they isolated themselves, they've got social anxiety that we talked about the other day, and they want to do an exam. You know, or an older person who never got round to doing O-levels or A-levels or whatever, who wants to do O-level French at the age of 70. Why not? Why not? And that's the nice thing about some of these groups, is that they're not all older people that are there or younger people. There's a real cross-section, and you learn a hell of a lot from your peers and your elders.
Of course you do.
And I'm sure anybody of my age, 37, 38, who's been bombarded with technology, I'd love to go to an IT course with a younger bloke showing me how it's done.
That's right. I signed up for my European driver's license at the ripe old age of 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
And it's that cross section of support and help. So community education groups.
Yep. Good one.
And we do have them in town where we live. We do have.
Every town has them.
Every
town has further education.
And they've had them since I went on a couple. I went on a business course. It was only 6 weeks. It was short-lived. That was run by the Techs, TEC, many, many years ago, 20 years ago. But they were basically long-term, people who hadn't worked for a while or wanted a change of direction. And I was allowed to go on that course free of charge. And the paperwork that they gave me, the guy Ian, I remember his name, we turned up on day one, he gave us a folder that thick.
Yeah.
You remember all the do's and don'ts of setting up as a small business?
I do.
And creating yourselves as a small business and what you should do. I'm sure now it's on a little micro thing about that big, but...
But you did come out of that with a saying that you and I use to this day.
Constantly.
We call them fridge magnets. Our fridge magnet from that course was...
Focus
down. Yeah.
Stop going all over the place.
Focus down.
Well,
and we use that as a
constantly.
shortcut to each other as one of us is, we're pretty good at going off track.
There's our subject. Will Stepping Stone expand into new avenues? We already have done.
We have. We're online now.
We're online. Kate and I are starting to do a podcast in the next couple of weeks.
I'm doing a writing workshop. You came to that, Sam?
Kate, she's doing that. I'm hopefully going to start an online drama workshop, but basically it will be about creative writing for the theatre and writing monologues and writing about yourself and stuff like that. Hopefully, but not sure about that yet. And there's several things that Kate and I want to do, but we can't. We've got restrictions right now. A, finances. We just haven't got the money. B, we haven't got a venue. We haven't got a rehearsal room. We haven't got a studio. And C, we just haven't got the manpower at the moment because all our gang...
Because we're in lockdown.
Well, we're in lockdown because all our gang's a bit disjointed, Sam. But we will. Watch this space. Watch this space. Number 2 on my list is arts, creativity and learning. Yeah, arts, creativity and learning. It kind of speaks for itself.
Yep.
If you've got a penchant for painting... art. One of our members, Adele, she does an online painting course.
She does.
And she's loving it.
She does.
She's loving it. You nip to a local art supplies, get a canvas, get some brushes. I believe that Griff also was doing a painting course as well. Before lockdown, I was going to a mindfulness class that the lovely Rosie was going to, says Griff. So lots and lots of creative outlets. People are more creative than they remember.
Yep.
Oh, well, I used to do art at school and I was rubbish. I used to do art at school and my paintings were terrible. And I used to do drama at school and I was rubbish.
Okay.
But a lot of people redefine and refine them, especially out of crisis like this. This one is brilliant. Self-help groups.
Yay!
Self-help groups. Yeah. Would you go to one?
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. And why I love the idea of a self-help group is because you gain accountability partners. I've got 2 right now. And one is my weight accountability girl and one is my exercise accountability girl.
Right.
And they come from self-help groups. So yeah, I love it.
People with lived experience, or
Yeah, and not just people who want to improve their lot in life.
So if your bag was, say, you're making cookies, you'd find a cookie group, and then you'd become a self-help group. If you're going to talk about weight,
sure. Of course, we're going to talk about weight.
Exactly. Does anybody?
They all end up talking about weight. Trust me.
In that case, then, Slimming World, Weight Watchers, they're self-help.
They're self-help groups.
Yeah.
Sure. That's
Brilliant.
exactly what they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your GP, having referred you to the gym, will then refer you to.
And I don't know about Weight Watchers, but I know that you can get Slimming World on the NHS.
Really?
Oh yeah, you can get 12 weeks on.
12 weeks.
Well, again, there it is. It's finite.
Yeah.
The flaw in the plan.
Well,
but 12 weeks would get you well started.
Yeah.
And save you the investment money.
Yeah.
And then you're on your own.
Well, it's
to continue with the group or to.
You often say it's 28 days to break and make a habit.
They say. They say.
12 weeks is brilliant then.
Yeah.
Computerized, and we talked about this before the actual thing, but doing computerized cognitive behavioral therapy.
Sure.
Online.
Absolutely. There's fantastic courses. I've checked them out, and there's anything you want you can find online.
Yeah, but the actual course itself, if your physician says, is your link worker, and the link worker says, I can put you in contact with several courses online that would really help. Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
This is interesting, and I've not heard this statement for ages, and I had a friend of mine, I've still got a friend of mine, he's still with us, who is a radio presenter on Radio Sheffield, my mate Roni, and he used to do this every week on radio, a bibliography or a reading group.
Oh, yes.
A reading group.
Now, if I could find one of those, I'd be happy.
Well, they were on about setting one up in the area a while ago. But a reading group, so you'd all read the same book.
That's right.
Excuse me. You'd all read the same book, and then you would all sit down and have a chat about it.
Well, this is another one that online this is happening.
You can do it.
This is good.
Yeah, you can do it. One of the things that the experts recommend you do on this one, though, for sort of just start you off, is that you all read and evaluate a self-help book.
About weight.
No, about weight.
I'm joking, Bill. I'm joking.
Or about holding a Bridlington pebble in your hand.
There are some absolutely fantastic self-help books that are disguised as, theory and philosophy and, some amazing. And the bestsellers do tend to be incredibly readable, incredibly inspirational. They really are great. Yeah. I mean, it's not for everybody. I mean, you're not interested in a self-help book,
Don't turn my crank.
No, I know it doesn't turn your crank at all. But to start by evaluating a self-help
book club with a self-help book. Yeah. Okay.
Why not? It's a very clever idea.
Why not?
Go on then.
Supported education.
What's that?
Basically, I will help you get your European driving license.
Oh, okay.
By sitting next to you.
Okay. Yeah.
If that's what you want, I will sit and I will be your support.
So that's almost the peer link that we were talking about. Peer support that we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah.
Or whenever.
I've already got my whatever in computing. I will help you get your supported
mentoring, shadowing, teaching, tutoring.
Yeah.
They're all good. All good.
Adult learning.
Yeah.
Basically, NVQ in bakery, NVQ in cooking. We have several organisations in our town that are brilliant at that. Lots of adult learning courses. And in the hopes of getting you out of isolation, making you feel a bit better. It's not necessarily for older people, and maybe leading to employment.
Yeah. Well, it seems that most of what you're talking about is learn something. Yeah. So social prescribing will hook you up with some learning, whether that's a book club or an online course, CBT, or but it's all about learning.
Yeah. Here's one. Knit and Nat.
Oh, well,
The old knit and nat.
that's about learning the gossip, Bill.
Well, I know. I've actually been to one, me. I loved it. Yeah.
Have
Yeah,
you?
I didn't go knitting. I just went for the natting. I think I might have mentioned it the other week. I actually quite enjoyed it, actually.
Yeah.
I went for the buttered scones, cup of tea and the natting. And there's 3 or 4 ladies there, bless them. Huge basket of multicoloured wool. All it looked a right mess. It looks as though somebody just walked in and go, there you go, bump. But they were attached to something in there, giving it large, kept holding it up, going like brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Well, I think one of the great ones that I saw was they were knitting bunting. So they were literally just knitting squares. So they didn't have to pay attention to a pattern, because some of those patterns you need to pay attention.
I know.
I used to be quite an avid knitter. But yeah, great idea. Knit and nat.
Knit and Nat. Here's one that we've got some lads in town who are brilliant, the bearded fishermen. They reckon fishing clubs are really good for you.
Yeah.
You get out, lots of things are happening. You're fishing, you're communing with nature. And with due respect, it's a very male thing, a lot of it. So it gets men talking about their feelings and talking about themselves, and getting men out there doing man things and sharing what they're going through with other men. Fishing clubs, brilliant. Gym-based activities.
Yep.
Not necessarily doing a big solid work, but going to the gym, gentle workout, bit of stretching. Just something that kind of gets you up and gets you out of your house into a different physical place.
Yep. And you can be handheld.
Yeah.
They have befriending services.
They have befriending services for the
that
gym.
comes from the social prescribing. That someone will take you to the gym and make you comfortable, and
Guided based activities.
What is that?
Basically, someone will handhold you, right?
Okay.
And take you and join in. But it's for people with different abilities, whether you've got issues with your sight or your hearing. They will take you and they will guide you around what the activity is.
Excellent.
At the time of you doing it. So guided walks, music, musical instrument, various things like that. They will guide you. So they're guided. They're very well monitored. You've got good support there, rather than being in the house by yourself. Green gyms and green gardening clubs. I love these.
Yeah. Go on, tell us about green gyms.
Green gyms are parks that have got adult toys in them.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, they are. They've got swings and stuff for grown-ups and climbing frames and all that kind of stuff. They started in America. I mean, if you've seen things about Muscle Beach in California, they've got all this apparatus where you can, big man lifting big things going, quite a lot. Well, these are in England. Oh, I'm going for a swing on here. Oh, look at me, I'm swinging. So yeah, green space gyms are cropping up everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere, and that's one of the things that encouraging people. And you can do it gently at your own pace. There's no rush.
Yeah.
You're not surrounded by TV screens. You're not surrounded by music, and you're just there gentle, giving it.
Well, you can work on apparatus by yourself. Or they do have groups. They do have sort of like 6 o'clock on a Wednesday night that there's an aerobics group for 45 minutes. So they have lead sessions in green gyms as well.
Well, interesting enough, Adele said, I found it easier going to the gym initially with another person. In time, I got the confidence to go on my own.
There.
This is exactly what it's about.
There
Fantastic.
We go. The whole show summed up in one comment.
Swimming and aquatherapy or aquarobics. I've seen aquarobics. And it's
Here it comes. Well, I'm ready for you, Bill.
It's a woman stood on the side of the pool, right,
Yeah.
with a very loud ghetto blaster.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in the jacuzzi trying to relax, having had a hard day or whatever I'm doing. And there's, 25, 30 ladies of a certain age.
Going,
Yeah.
Just
I
like
want you
just
to
like
be
the lady
my
on the side of the
girl.
pool.
And there's it's always the same song. Hey, hey, babe, ooh, ooh, I wanna know will you be, and it's absolutely brilliant. It really is. It really is. And I think if that's a way of keeping fit and having that much fun, get it done.
I know, get it done.
Get it done. Sharon says Tai Chi in parks. They're doing Tai Chi in parks
Yes.
as well.
Well,
I've seen
yeah, that's very big in eastern part of the
Yeah.
world. Has been for many
years.
But
Many
yes,
years.
Tai Chi is perfect.
Team sports, but not too physical. I've
competitive.
been asked because of my heart attack, and I've got a very dear friend of mine, Bob, who lives a couple of villages that way. He is part of a walking football group.
Oh.
Yeah, 5, 6 aside, nearly all men who've had a triple bypass or they've had some kind of physical operation, but they still want to maintain a bit of healthy lifestyle. They do walking football group,
Walking football.
and it's very gentle,
Brilliant
and you
idea.
tackle people very gently. And
Give me the ball.
give me the go on, take it. And then they kind of kick it, and you have to kind of walk. You can't run to what you've got to walk.
Yeah.
Walk so who gets there, and I'm sure there's a bit cheating going on. You know, the fitter, younger models in the team get there a bit quicker, but it's just very gentle. And I think it is the social side to get out and do something a bit different.
And again, as you say, mostly men who go to walking football.
Yeah.
Or who go to football.
Yeah.
Some of the most successful men's groups are based around football.
And sport, any kind of sport. Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Dance classes.
Yay!
But if you're going to do it, like dancer-size.
Okay.
Not aerobics so much, but like a Zumba.
Zumba's very good.
Or a cha-cha.
Zumba's lovely.
You know,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
or rumba. You know,
Rumba.
any of those kind of Italian kind of, you know, the physical ones.
You would
you
go
know.
to tango classes. wouldn't you?
Tango, that's it. You know, tango class. Yeah, one of those. Not. I'm not talking about the waltz, even though that's good for you. That's good for you, but do something a bit more out there. You know what I mean? A bit more out there. Learn a new skill is brilliant. Learn something different. I did some classes when you first moved here, where we lived, and I went and did a course called Cooking for Health.
You did.
And it was all about substitutions. I made things like wholemeal Cornish pasties with apple and currants rather than potato and mincemeat. And it was really good. I really enjoyed it. But again, it was only 16 weeks. And then I was becoming quite proficient. One of the favourite ones I did was that beef in a dark sweet ale. And that was lovely. And I wanted to kind of augment and get further with that, but then the course finished.
Yeah.
It stopped.
Yeah.
And finally, I think this is brilliant. Befriending. Making someone your friend.
Yeah. We have a group that meets across the street in the village hall every Thursday. I think they're called Evergreens, and you have to be over 55, right? But it's just a friendship group.
Yeah.
I don't think they do anything. I don't
Nothing.
even think they.
I think
get
they have a
eyes
raffle.
down, and I don't know if they have a raffle. I don't know if they have anything. I think they just meet and have a cup of tea. But I could be
That's
wrong.
brilliant. Just have a chat and get out of the house and be
That's
friends.
right. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, that brings us to Kate, 16040.
Ooh,
1604, not 40.
I was going to say.
1604.
Whoa.
I got you there.
That's
didn't I?
very good, Bill.
1604. All about one topic.
Very important.
Very important topic because it is honestly going to be on the move
Yeah.
after this lockdown
Yeah.
is completely gone.
Yeah.
People are going to need people.
Social prescribing.
Social prescribing.
It's called
People
in this country.
who need people.
And so your social
Are
prescriber
I'm singing.
will hook. I know.
Are the luckiest people in the world. And we are. We're going to need
Are you
each other.
finished singing?
I'm finished.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go on.
Yeah. Well, then what I was going to say is that just basically is that your social prescribers will hook you up. They will hook you up.
Absolutely. And I'd just like to say to the crew out there, thank you for being our friendship group. Because that's what we've got.
I used to love belly dancing. Nice one. Adult dance classes were the best, but sadly they had to end.
Yeah.
I know, you got to keep your eyes peeled because they will start again.
And don't forget, you
Whenever
can't belly
somebody
dance. You can't belly dance without one of these.
Without a belly.
That's
yeah.
right.
But these we've talked today about the flaw in the plan
Is
that things are finite.
They are.
You just need to keep looking to
Yeah.
maybe get an ongoing group and keep looking for another dance class. So there we go.
Yeah, Haley says, go, Bill, la, 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 la. Are the luckiest people in the world. Right, bless you. Kate, say bye-bye to our crew.
Bye-bye, crew.
We will see you tomorrow at 3 of the clocks. Monday tomorrow, isn't it?
It is Monday tomorrow.
Yep.
I've got half the show right here.
And I've got the other half right here. We're getting ahead of ourselves now, which is
It's
great.
good. It's good.
Because we are wanting to be prepared in case something else happens. In case they lift lockdown. So, Kate, it's been fabulous. Thank you very much for that. Thank you for the
Thank
info.
you for leading us today, Bill.
Well,
you did really well, darling.
See, as a carer, I think I would make a really good social prescriber.
You would.
Yeah.
You would, but you make a better theater director.
Thank you very much, darling.
You are such a good theater director.
Thank you. That's very kind of you
Yes,
to
well,
say
if there's
so.
one thing that I've learned in the last 5 years is listen to Bill. He knows what
He
he's
knows what he's talking about. Well, I've learnt it from the greats. I'm going to include you in that as well,
Aw.
Kate the Great. So, I'd just like to say this is a Yorkshire Pudding saying, ta-ra, have a lovely rest of your Sunday, and don't do what I wouldn't do. And my partner's going to say,
I'm Kate the Great, the crazy Canuck.
oh, isn't that lovely?
Isn't that lovely?
I love it when you say that.
I know. I love the word crazy. I love the word Canuck. I love the word great. You know, I'm quite... Kate is good, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know them all, you, don't you?
I do.
You know them all.
I do.
Lots of words.
All right, are you ready for this?
Am I ready for what?
Say bye-bye, Bill.
Shall I
See
show
how you like it.
Shall I show you how it's done?
Yeah.
Bye-bye, everyone. We will see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Thank you for listening, and I really hope you enjoyed the topic we spoke about today. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Do you want to try that?
I can't top that.
Go on.
I can't compete.
Go on.
No. I'm quite happy with bye-bye, Bill.
Just say bye-bye, Kate.
Bye-bye, Kate.
Oh, you're still not getting it, are you?
No.
Oh, maybe next time. See you later, crew.
Happy Sunday, people.
Bye-bye.